Hi guys, hi, welcome to my channel. This is Fola again, and like I promised in my last video, I will be talking everything around being an international student and scholarship options and just about everything that has to do with being a student in the UK. So right now, taking from the fact that I was a student, I still am a student actually student and now lecturing after my studies in the UK. So I feel I have, an idea of both sides of the coin. So I would like to share all of that experience and those that hopefully will be useful for you. So if you have comments and questions, particularly, I welcome questions on how I can better help with this journey. So using my experiences and using as a student and as a lecturer to help your to follow up on your experiences. So let's go. Right. Taking away from that, so today I want to talk about scholarship option. I'm not going to be talking about, I'm going to be focusing mainly on one scholarship option only because this is the one that I found is out and is ready for application right now. But there are obviously so many other scholarship options, and I will be looking at those separately and breaking them down as we go along. But for now, we're looking at the Great Sustainable Future Scholarship for international students. So this is a scholarship that is focused on, you know, supporting international students. And I mean, who doesn't like some money off your tuition? So this is one of those. It helps take off some pounds, thousands actually of pounds off your tuition fee. And but the focus is it's got to be on climate change, right? So it's got to be subject area that are related somewhat to climate change. And so generally there are several countries. So Nigeria is one of those. Hey, in the house. So Nigeria is part of it. Egypt, Pakistan, Turkey, and Vietnam. So these are the countries. So applicants from these countries are actually encouraged to apply for those scholarship. And ideally, the scholarship is going to be focused on a MSc or MA, a 1 year postgraduate course study, thoughts courses, sorry, that are related to climate change. And the scholarship itself is within the minimum of £10,000. That's a lot, and to £15,000. So depending on the institution. So this is a collaborative effort between the Great Britain campaign, I think the UK, the British Council, and the UK institutions. So these three, so different UK institutions. So these three bodies sort of like are collaborating on this scholarship. Now, the condition, of course, as to several other scholarships, there has to be conditions, right? So the condition for this scholarship is that you have to have conditional or unconditional offer from the institution that you're going to be applying from for. So if you're going to, for example, apply with a university, you have to have been offered a conditional or unconditional offer from that university to study with them, and then after your offer you can now apply for the scholarship. So as every other scholarship, the one of the requirements is you have to be generally motivated. It's quite nice to be motivated, to show academically with previous your previous academic achievements that you're motivated and you've been doing quite well in your studies. The study, your BSc or undergraduate study has to be related to climate change, because then that sort of like links up with your proposed MSc master's degree that you're coming in for. And also it will be ideally beyond just academic achievements. It's good to have a first class. It's good to have a strong first or second grade. However, beyond that, you also need outside academic or class achievements. So one of those that they are hoping you would have is maybe work experience in that area. So if you've done some full-time, part-time, voluntary type of job, interest in the proposed area. So maybe if you've been part of a, I don't know, like a committee, or you've written to your government, in your home country about climate change, or you've done some voluntary NGO type of sort of service towards the subject area. Also, they would like you to be willing to share your experiences during your studies, after your studies, sort of like be an ambassador to the program. So, you can talk to future applicants and really sort of like share your journey with other students, right? So one of the other thing is, obviously, before you get admission within UK, you're supposed to show your or prove your English ability, so you're able to sort of like evidence that you can actually study in English. So that's also part of the requirement. So now that's like the application in general. Sorry, the scholarship in general. You are required. They are hoping or they plan to give about 26 scholarship to different individuals across these countries. So what I want to do now is to break it down for each institution and their requirements and the deadline, and just sort of like the information that is required. Now after this, I will be putting down in the link of this video description all the I'll be putting in the link this video. So it would be nice if you can check them out and see when the deadline is and how to apply for those scholarship. You never know. Scholarships are just, things that you just apply. You just keep applying. Some of them where you don't even put your mind to, you will get it. So because it might be your skill set or your story that would impress the panel and they would select you. So yeah, just to also mention that majority of the scholarship of the institutions. So what I wanted to do is to first of all talk about the scholarship in general before we go down into breaking for each institution. It would also be because I have been to quite a few scholarship interview quite a few interview in the past. So I think I will be making a video in terms of like preparing for scholarship and a scholarship interview, and what kind of questions we would ask if I was on a panel that is reviewing an applicant for an interview. What are the questions and what are the responses that might really help just pop you in terms of your achievement. So yeah, now I'm going to go into breaking it down for each institution and what's the requirements and how to apply for it. Okay, so the first one that I want to talk about is University of Manchester. So this is actually quite a big university in the UK, and they are they are part of this great application scholarship application process. So they require students to have unconditional or conditional offer depending on for a master's degree related to climate change, like I've said. And the course start date will be for September 2021, and they are taking off £10,000 off of the tuition fee for that course. And also, so depending on what amount your total tuition fee is, they will take off £10,000 from your tuition fee. The deadline is on the 30th of April 2021. And scholarship is for engineering students. You would have to apply. So students that are applying for engineering for the university would have to apply, but other students would automatically be considered. Now the notification date will be on the 17th of May. So by the 17th of May, they will let you know if you have or have not been successful in the process, and they would expect you to accept or reject by the 31st of May. This is because there's quite a lot of people that would also be interested in the scholarship. So if you're not interested, say for example you get something better before that time, you can always turn it down. So it's in good time, so that somebody else can take that opportunity. So I will leave the link in the description for this video for those that will be interested in Manchester, especially if you've already applied to Manchester University in related subject area. Why not just put in this application? I will talk a little bit about the application towards the end of the video, so please stay tuned, where we'll go through sort of like the what you need to put, or what you should put, that would really in the application, that would really, you know, pop up your application. Right, so the next university is the University of, which is in London. So Greenwich University is offering just Vietnamese applicants. So just a Vietnamese student is eligible to apply. £1,000 off tuition fee would also be given for the Greenwich University, and they are expecting applicants to have MSc in global environmental change, or MSc in Agriculture for Sustainable Development. So the eligibility is obviously that you're from Vietnam, you have completed application in BSc in Vietnam, sorry, you are applying for these MSc courses, and also the deadline is 31st of May. So by 31st of May, you should put your application in, and 18th of June, you'll be notified if you have £10,000 off your tuition fee. So that would be nice. Right, so the next university that I want to highlight is University of Edinburgh. This is in Scotland. It's sort of like the far northern part of the UK. This is a very big university as well. I'm sure many would have heard of University of Edinburgh, and they are offering £10,000 as well off tuition fee for Nigerian applicants and Pakistan applicants. So, but you have to have either secure or will, you know, secure admission in MSc in climate change, finance, and investment. So finance and climate change, finance, and investment is what they are interested in, and you should have a first-class degree for your BSc to show sort of like your academic achievement. The deadline is on the 26th of April, so next month, just short of a month, and they will notify you by June 21st if you have been successful. Now the next university is University of Derby. So University of Derby is offering quite a big amount of scholarship, about 10 for international students. Nigeria is here, Pakistan is here, so they are taking off £11,000 of tuition fee. So but you have to be studying one of the these courses. So it's going to be MSc conservation biology, MSc environmental assessment control, MSc geoenergy, or MSc sustainable architecture or health. The requirement, they require you to write, to apply 500 words, and the topic which I will talk about, like I said, at the end of this video, or towards the end. And the deadline is the 1st of July 2020. So by 1st of July, you should, or no, before that, you should have your application in to be considered for £11,000. The next one is East Anglia University. They are offering Nigerian, Pakistan, Turkey, Vietnamese students this scholarship, and it's £15,000 of tuition fee. Obviously starting September of 2021. They are going to consider students in MSc Environment and International Development, MSc Climate Change and International Development, MSc Engineering, Energy Engineering with Environmental Management, MSc Environmental Assessment and Management, MSc Environmental Sciences, and MSc Climate Change. That's a lot of MScs. And that will be projected for 31st of May deadline, where you need to apply. All of these universities, like I said, I will leave the link for further information in the description, so you can check them out and decide which you would like to apply for. I think, because I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm just going to wrap it up. That is University of Cranfield, which is offering £10,000. University College London, UCL, the big one, which is also offering £10,000. Yale Agricultural University offering £10,000 to Vietnamese. And in general, this whole all of these, so now I just wanted to talk a little bit about the application process. So all of these universities, one is that you have to apply for an MSc in subject area that are related to climate change. You have to have a good academic record, previous record, your BSc, diplomas, some qualifications that you would have done should be quite stellar and good. You should have possibly, which I think this is one thing that students, you could have all the first classes, if you don't have some of these requirements, which is extracurricular activities, we really seem to fall short in this regard. So extracurricular activities, as a reviewer of application for scholarship and other admission requirements, we actually look out for extracurricular activities from students. So when I'm reviewing an applicant, I'm happy to see that you have finished with the first, or you finish top of your group. You are able to show quite good sound academic background, but I also want to see what are your achievements outside the classroom, outside academics. So you're talking about activism, you're talking about leadership possibilities, you're talking about voluntary roles, you're talking about paid and unpaid work experiences, you're talking about community development and support, you're talking about things, sort of these things that has not so much to do with academic achievement. So where you're maybe going to community, you're being a community advocate, you're working with NGOs, even if it's on a free, like I said, voluntary basis, but you're doing these things. I think about things that even if you don't do it, no, sorry, let me put it this way. Think about things that when you do it, it doesn't necessarily show how you're gaining from it. I don't know if that makes sense. Like the aim of it is that you're helping people, you're doing something towards improving some people's experiences or just improving their life in general. So that way, because we want to see selflessness in you, like you're doing a community, for example, you're doing community advocacy for environmental sanitation as an example, where you're championing youth within your community to actually collaborate or make some formal structural efforts to sort of like improve the environment. Those type of things would actually impress us more than just highlighting I have a BSc, I have a whatever qualification, and I came out with a first and the rest of that. So I would encourage putting that in your application. Demonstrate that you have, if not you have done it, but you have good what's it called, leadership potential. So be willing to be if you have a Twitter account, for example, you have Twitter account, you have been advocating for climate change one way or the other, you have been engaging in this conversation, talk about it. If you have a blog that you've done, if you have a publication, that is academic, but if you have a publication, that is also good. But if not, maybe you have a blog, maybe you're contributing to blogs and you're writing about these things, or maybe you've even read, even if you have not done it, but maybe you've read, you're quite familiar with climate change conversations, and you can highlight some of these things and put your critical spin on this is what's in the media or in the conversation now, but I feel like, or looking at the evidences, we can maybe follow on this this direction of things. So putting these sort of evidences together, or really showcasing you. So we just don't want to see your application, we just don't want not your application, we just don't want to see your achievement. I have first in this, I have this, I was a champion of that. But you're also trying, you're bringing people to your world, and even before meeting you during the interview, we already know you. Oh, this is the person that talked about that story of something they did on Twitter, or some argument, and how that came about being a positive outcome for example, climate change. So anyway, pulling these, I feel like you should divide your application, you have 500 words. You should divide, for most of them, not all, so but most of them. I think East Anglia actually allows you 3 pages, so most of them you are limited to like 300 to 500 word count, so it's quite limited. So divide it into three. That's my suggestion. One part should be for your achievements, academic achievements, your certifications and all that, the fun bits. The next part should be your leadership and extracurricular activities that you have achieved or that you're working towards. So it doesn't have to have been finished, but it can be something that shows that I'm already part of A and B, and we're hoping to get this sort of outcome. And the last part should be about what you will do in future. So the potential of in the next 5 years or in the next 2 years. You don't have to put a year tag on it, but you could say in future, not so far away future, you're hoping to achieve A and B and C based off of that application. And somewhere in the middle of that, if you can also hint at how this how this scholarship would ease your financial burden by helping you or making it feasible for you to actually come to the UK and study, would also be nice. So I hope all of this, these 4 key areas are really, taken seriously. I would somewhere down the line make video on and expand on, because I just sort of like touch on them on that last 5 minutes. So I would expand on them quite significantly in future videos on how to really showcase and highlight your achievements to impress review panel for application and even the interview panel as well. Right, this is the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Like I said, if you have questions, comments, if you want me to talk about other scholarships that are out there, if you want us to delve more in depth into each scholarship, it's going to take a lot longer time, but we can actually do that. So but whatever comments, questions and that you might have about studying in the UK, or sort of like getting the best of being a UK either applicant or even a UK student, just international student in the UK, just leave in the comments. Thanks for listening, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye. Don't forget to click like if you like it, share with friends, family, and anyone else that would find value in this, and subscribe. All right, now have to go. Bye. I'll be putting in the link for this video. I have to cut that. So our majority of the scholarship for the majority of the institutions, sorry,